This is picoCTF 2025, and today we are going to take a look and attempt to solve YaraRules0x100 in general skills. The challenge reads as follows. Dear Threat Intelligence Analyst, quick heads up, we stumbled upon a shady executable file on one of our employees' Windows PCs. Good news, the employee didn't take the bait and flagged it for our InfoSec crew. Seems like this file sneaked past our intrusion detection system, indicating a fresh threat with no matching signatures in our database. Can you dive into this file and whip up some Yara rules? We need to make sure we can catch this thing before if it pops up again. Thanks a bunch. The suspicious file can be downloaded here. Unzip the archive with the password picoCTF. Additional details will be available after launching your challenge instance. Okay, before we head in and attempt to solve this challenge, what is Yara? It is a tool that helps identify and classify malware. You can create descriptions based on text or binary patterns found within the files and detect against them. Taking a look at the Yara homepage, this is how a Yara rule looks like. It begins with the rule keyword. It has an identifier, some metadata, some strings, either in binary form or in textual form, and then a condition to match. This condition is evaluated by Yara, and if it returns true, it means that rule has been matched against whatever file that rule has been run, and the title of the rule is being displayed, right? So in this example, if either A or B or C are found within the binary, then that rule is matched. So let's write a simple Yara rule ourselves. We begin by telling rule and then giving it a name, and then we are just returning true. So now let's save this file, Yara test.txt. And now, let's type Yara. This is telling it to use that particular rule and run it against this file. So the test Yara rule has been matched against this file. If we change the condition to false, and again we run this, we get no output, because the condition is always returning false. But let's take it one step further. If you remember from the pattern matching, we can add a strings before the condition. And let's say within the strings, we want a $A to be the string condition, right? And if it's finding condition, it will return true. And so now going back to our terminal, and we run the rule, and it's found the condition because it's found two places where that string is matched. Okay, now we can understand better the challenge where we are tasked to build such a rule for this binary. So let's grab the binary first. Yeah, it's a zip, so let's run unzip suspicious. The password was picoCTF. And let's see what we have to work with. It is a Windows executable, which we guessed as much, but it is UPX compressed. And so we would need to decompress it. To do that, we would run UPX with the output of suspicious decompressed, because we want to preserve the original file, and decompress it, and the original file is suspicious.exe. And so this is the decompressed file, right? And one thing we can do is we can run some strings. And there's quite a bunch of strings here. picoCTF, welcome to Yara rule. So one thing I want to do is I will start a new text document, and I will grab some strings from the binary that we can use for the challenge. Bad allocation, unknown exception. And one thing that we have to keep in mind with writing a good Yara rule is minimize the false positive. So for example, we don't want to include strings like adjust token privileges, because this string is probably found in a lot of normal executables, and we don't want our rule to match against those. We want it to only match against this known malicious binary. One thing I want to do is grab something, some sort of identifier from the original file, and add those to our Yara rule as well. Again, we are looking for unique strings. So we can take this one. Yeah, I don't see anything unique to that. So now, taking those strings, let's build a Yara definition file for this malware. So let's start by saving this. And now let's build the rule. It didn't tell us how to name the rule. So let's call it just rule pico. So for the strings, we can do something like, let's grab just this one, because this one was present in both. So let's see if we can get away with that. Also, keep in mind, this is a Windows binary, so ANSI white. So let's test it out. We're gonna run against Yara challenge. Let's test it again. And it's matched against suspicious. Let's try against the decompressed one. And it's matched against that one as well. Okay. Now let's see how do we send this rule to complete the challenge. I'm guessing we have to launch the instance. Once you have created the Yara rule signature, submit your rule file as follows. So cat whatever testing, you'll receive the flag. Okay, cool. And so we copy this command. And the file name we had was Yara challenge. 62 test case passed, 1 failed, 1 unchecked. Okay. So I'm guessing the false positive was due to a text file maybe that contains this thing, right? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a second condition here, and we're gonna tell it, okay, we want to match both of them. Now let's look again at how we can write a binary string. So curly braces, and then followed by hex data. And what we can do is hex dump -c, and then we're gonna run it, I don't know, against the exe and pipe it to less. And what I want to do is I want to grab the first 4 bytes here, and let's see if this is enough. And then paste it here. 1 still failed. How about is debugger present? Because that's not normally found in standard programs. Nope, still 62. So we have to avoid this, as it seems it's a red herring. 63, and we still have a false positive. Okay, so that means we need to narrow it down even more. So let's take this one. There we go. So now all that remains is let's copy the flag, paste it over, and there you have it. If you've enjoyed this challenge, hit the like button. If you'd like to get notified whenever I post new solves, hit that subscribe button. In any case, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.